Whether you've been here before or maybe this is your first time, this is always a great getaway. Hello again, Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I'm in Schuyler County, and I'm in the gorge at Watkins Glen. Let me show you around. Come on.
Yeah, about an hour and 20 minutes out of Rochester, this Southern Tier getaway is amazing. I mean, look at it. I don't even have to talk. This is the Watkins Glen, the state park, and the gorge at Watkins Glen. It's one of our state's most popular state parks. And look at that. The leaves are beginning to change. Now, I was there a week ago, so they're probably going to be more colorful now. But waterfalls, how about 19 of them? The Glen's stream actually descends 400 feet past 200-foot cliffs. And that's what generates those 19 amazing waterfalls. I mean, it's just one thing after another, and it's just beautiful. Every move you make, there's something beautiful to see. If you've got the kids, though, I want you to take them by the hand and not let go. Some of those sidewalls are a little low, and if it's like it was when I was there, which was quite slippery, you got to be careful. 832 steps, and it's quite the cardio workout. You can start at the top and walk down, but I would check first at the visitor center to find out about the $6 shuttle bus that could take you to the top, and then you could walk down. In addition to the Gorge Trail, which you can see right through here, there are also the North and the South Rim nature trails. They're open year-round, but the Gorge at Watkins Glen, what I went on, what I'm showing you now, that will be closing soon. Now, originally they said October the 23rd. They may stay open a little bit later, but call ahead. Be sure to call the day you want to go to see if they are still open or when they're about to close. 607-535-4511. That's their number. Bring good walking shoes. Of course, a bottle of water is always good. Some people use a walking stick. I saw a lot of people using the walking sticks. And look at this, is like one of the most popular cascades of water that you literally walk behind. It's just breathtaking. Look at this. I just loved it there. I had so much fun. Bring your camera, your iPhone, whatever you're using. Make sure that it doesn't get too wet. You know, with all the waterfalls, things are going to get wet, but it's just outstanding. The beauty is jaw-dropping, and I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. Bridges to go across, streams, the gorge, the waterfalls. Lots of people, too, unless you go first thing in the morning. They're open sun up, they call it dawn, to dusk. So get there early like I did before the crowds come. Watkins Glen State Park and the gorge at Watkins Glen. And it was just a fun time for me. I enjoyed it immensely. And I've been there before. So I grew up like in the Southern Tier. I grew up in Corning Painted Post. Well, we had relatives in Watkins Glen, and we were always there. So the gorge at Watkins Glen, certainly not new to me, but it may be new to you, or maybe doing it again for the first time. But it's just always so breathtaking. It never disappoints, the gorge at Watkins Glen. And we're going to have more on it. I'm going to tell you how I got there, the best way, I think, the most beautiful scenic way to get to Watkins Glen. I'm also going to show you a place where you can grab lunch. If you got there early in the morning, by noon, 1 o'clock, you're hungry. And I've got a place to stop on the way back. I'll have that for you too, and much, much more. So stay tuned. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the teepees, the iconic teepees. Talk about a fall getaway. Powers Farm Market. It's where I take the grandkids. And I'm telling you, weekends are busy this time of year, but you got to go. If you've never been, get inside the teepees. I won't tell you what's inside. That'll spoil it. But not only that, of course, they've got pumpkins and gourds. They have fresh fruits and vegetables inside, donuts, cider. They have certainly the hay rides. They have an amazing corn maze out on the farm. It's just wall-to-wall fall fun at Powers. Check it out, one of our sponsors for Tales of the Getaway Guy. Hey, thanks to Paris Heating and Cooling. I got to tell you something that happened to me the other day. My furnace, turning it on for the first time, I was reluctant to do it, but it wouldn't work. Long story short, Paris came out. Anthony, he found, you ready for this? In the vent, where all the fumes go from the furnace to the outside of the house, he found a live bee's nest inside. It was blocking it, and the furnace wouldn't turn on. So he literally, in the dark, got rid of the nest for me, hooked everything back up. It's working fine. Thank you, Paris Heating and Cooling. If you're looking for a furnace or just a tune-up, here comes winter, go to Paris. They'll take great care of you. They do for me, and I love it. Now, let's get back to the show. This is part 2 of our Gorge at Watkins Glen Getaway. And what a great getaway. Again, about an hour, 20 minutes out of Rochester, I jump on the thruway, head east to Geneva, and then follow Route 14 south past beautiful farmland and orchards and vineyards. It's beautiful through there. And you'll go by many wineries too. Make sure you stop at a few. They're fun to see. They're fun to be around. Eventually you'll get into the village of Watkins Glen. Turn onto Pine Street. That's where you're going to find the closest parking. And right off of Pine Street is a lot right next to the Gorge at Watkins Glen. It's $10 to park. Unless you've got the Empire Pass and you can scan that, that will also work. So it's pretty easy to get to. That's the only thing you'll pay other than parking. You get in for free. Now, back out onto the road, Route 14. Now we're heading north along Seneca Lake, and it's just as beautiful as can be. What I want you to do is, if you're hungry, stop at one of my little favorite places. It's called the Wienery. Nope, not the winery. It's the Wienery. This is upscale hot dogs and hamburgers. I mean, don't be surprised if you see maybe on someone's table, maybe yours, a bottle of wine. And it goes very well with everything they serve up. It's an outstanding, very unique restaurant. I mean, wine, beer, you can have it. I had it with my cereal this morning, and it was just fine, thank you. No, I didn't. That's a joke. But I love the Wienery. It's a great little place to stop when you're a little bit hungry on your way to or back from the Gorge at Watkins Glen, Route 14 in Dundee. Before we go, or before we give you any more, if you need, first of all, the Wienery's website is flxwienery.com. And again, for the Watkins Glen, Gorge at Watkins Glen, just make sure that you go to the New York State website. And Joe, I'm frantically looking for it as we're live here on camera. And I know it's here somewhere, but it's the New York State website. And I think Joe's probably going to put it right up on the screen. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Whew. He came to my rescue again. Speaking of coming to the rescue, if you get back from this great getaway, the Gorge at Watkins Glen, who wants to cook when you get home? Grab a pizza. Go to my favorite place, Nino's Pizzeria, 1330 Culver Road in Rochester. I was just there the other night. Whoops, a little guilty about it, but it's so good. Sicilian-style pizza. Everything's fresh. Fresh sautéed onions and red roasted peppers and Italian sausage. That's the one I get. And it just, doesn't get any better. Nino's 1330 Culver Road. They will deliver with slice, and they will take good care of you. Tell them the Getaway Guy sent you. You can see a happy camper right there on Culver Road near Merchants. A little hole in the wall, but boy, you're going to be glad you found it. Amazing Sicilian pizza. We have a question. We love questions, and people submit questions about getaways, travel, or anything for that matter at MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Do you like my flannel shirt? I just brought this. I haven't worn this on the show yet. I'm just looking at it on camera. Yeah, it looks all right. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Joe's over here laughing at me. He laughs at me. Any question will do. And here comes a question from Lydia. Lydia, thank you, from Rochester. She writes, Dear Getaway Guy, you are known for your popular October haunts segments. Here comes Halloween, the ones you've done on TV. Do you have a few favorites? Oh, Lydia, yes, I do. I love haunted getaways. This is the real deal, though. These places are legitimately, so they say, haunted. The first one that comes to mind is a bed and breakfast out in Mount Morris, New York. By the way, it's called the Allegiance Inn because Francis Bellamy wrote the Pledge of Allegiance from Mount Morris. So the Allegiance Inn in Mount Morris, apparently things go bump in the night. Yes, they do. A bed and breakfast where guests experience other guests who never checked in. They'll tell you more about it when you go visit it. And that's one of my faves. There's also another one. It's a I guess you could say bed and breakfast, more of a hotel. It's old, it's historic, it's in Niagara Falls, right across from the state park, and it's called the Red Coach Inn. The Red Coach Inn in Niagara Falls, the story goes, a bride and groom, they get married, they spend their honeymoon night at the Red Coach Inn. He goes a little berserk and does away with the bride. I knew that marriage was not going to last. I just knew it. So apparently she still walks the hallways and scares guests, and she's seen everywhere. The Red Coach Inn, seriously haunted place. Another one, Lydia, that I really like, and this one is seriously haunted. It's Rolling Hills in East Bethany, and this one's a little disturbing, at least for me. When I've been there before, it's like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. They do ghost tours, so if you're really into it, go to East Bethany, New York, out in Genesee County. It's the old 18th century Genesee County institution. Go to their website for tours. That's rollinghillsasylum.com if you dare. And one of my other favorites, which is kind of merry, not scary, it's Miles Wine Cellars. In fact, they're included in one of my haunted getaways in my volume 2 book. Notice how I did a transition to sell you a book? Yeah, I could do this all day long. Miles Wine Cellars. So it's in Himrod, New York. And it's literally on your way, Route 14, on Seneca Lake. So you're going to go by it anyway. So you follow this little winding roadway down to the shores of Seneca Lake, and there sits this beautiful old Greek Revival mansion. It's beautiful. It's white. And that's Miles Wine Cellars. Oh, I forgot to tell you, a lot of people that come for the first time see the couple standing on the porch with a top hat. She's in a white gown. I believe it's a gown. I'm not so sure. And they comment and mention it when they walk into the winery, and they go, nope. People see them, but they ain't there. Miles Wine Cellar. Good wine. Spirits of all sorts. It's one of my favorite getaways, and I think you'd enjoy it. But here comes Halloween. Why not touch on some of those? Thank you, Lydia, for the question. If you have a question, MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer yours. Looking for a good breakfast? How about Jim's on Main? Down from the Auditorium Theater in the city, you got to have bar stools and a counter. That makes you an official diner in my estimation. And Jim's has it. Jim's, 785 East Main Street, good cup of coffee, good breakfast food, cash only. They also have Jim's at the mall at Grease Ridge. I like Jim's on Main. Good people, good family, and a good breakfast with a good hot cup of coffee. Jim's, they're open every day. Travel books. We talked about these. If you are interested, I just did a speaking engagement, Getaway Guy travel presentation. I've done a couple of them. Oasis just the other day. I just did Pittsford Community Center. Anyway, when I do my travel talks, I bring books and I do a book signing. And people were grabbing them for holiday gifts. I know, I can't believe I just said it, but it's true. It's not that far away. So if you're thinking of a holiday gift for someone in your family who loves to travel, I'll sign it. I'll personalize it to whoever you want to give it to. Just email me at MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com, and I'll send you all the particulars. We'll kind of get together, talk a little bit, and I'll set you up. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com, and between now and the holidays, I will do a BOGO offer. Buy one, get one free. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com, and thank you very much for grabbing one of my books. I get a lot of people that come that bought the books like a couple of years ago, and they bring them so that I will sign them, and I'm always happy to do that too. So that's kind of fun. But they're great books to have. Some people have given them to friends to borrow, and they never see the books again. So you may need another pair of books. Buy one, get one at MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Hey, thank you, Paris Heating and Cooling, for being a part of our show. Boy, here comes winter, and if your furnace needs a good checkup, or maybe you need a new furnace for the upcoming cold winter, these are the guys to go with. They just do such a reliable professional job each and every time. Paris Heating and Cooling, that's ParisHeatCool.com, or give them a call and they'll take very good care of you. They do for me, and I love what they do. Powers Farm Market, you'll love what they're doing right now. They have fall in full swing, and it's everything from pumpkins to corn shocks to donuts and cider, and of course the iconic teepees. I won't tell you what's inside, but the kids will love it. And that part of Powers is free. The teepees you can get, a lot of things aren't free these days, but the teepees are. Hayride will cost you just a little bit, the corn maze too, but they've got it all together when it comes to fall. Powers Farm Market, Marsh Road in Pittsford, a family operation for generations. Well, thank you, Powers. Thank you, Paris. Thank you, Jim's. Thank you, Nino's. And thanks to Joe here at Classy Wolf Media. Thank you for coming along for today's ride. I hope you've enjoyed today's getaway. Oh, there's more where that came from. So make sure you like us. Make sure you follow us. Until next time, I'm Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy.